Hi and welcome to Ochiba Koi India. We're back with episode 2 of Koi Culture. Today we're going to talk about koi food, what we feed our koi, why we feed our koi, what we do, and what your options are. So first up over here beside me you can see the entire range of Hikari koi food that is available in the country, in India right now. On this side, you can see a bag of Optimum Nishikigoi. Kept that here for comparison. That's what we used to feed our fish when we started off, and we still sometimes do if we can't find what we need. So first, let me just let you guys know that I know the mic is not good enough, and I've ordered one, and so hopefully episode 3 will be with a good mic and you won't be hearing so many crows and parakeets. But so another thing is where I'm also going to stop scripting. So I'm going to start going, I'm going to be a little more organic with the information that I present to you during this video. So if I have a few hiccups here and there, apologies in advance. So let me just, so to start off with, we're going to look at Hikari, Saki Hikari. This is color enhancing. So Saki Hikari is actually the best koi food in the world, most say. This is what most everybody in Japan feeds their prize fish and their champion fish, you know. So for our certified koi and for our higher quality collector koi, this is the preferred food of choice. We kind of mix up color enhancing and also the growth. So just to let you know, koi in general can eat a lot of things. They're omnivores. In the wild you'd expect them to eat scraps and vegetables, just vegetation and things like that, things that they can find here and there, maybe some algae, maybe some moss, some insects and things like that. So they're quite versatile. They can eat a lot of things, but you can get away with feeding your koi everything from bread to watermelon to prawns, and some you should and some you shouldn't. But when we're talking about collector, or when we're talking about higher grade koi, we're trying to make sure that the food and the diet that they're receiving is of the highest quality, so that their colors, so that they retain their colors, so that they grow properly, they don't develop fat deposits or warps in the body and things like that. So that those are kind of the things that we're looking out for. Saki Hikari is definitely up there. Yeah, but this is expensive. Yeah, this is expensive. This is retail price 9,020 rupees for 2 kgs. So on Amazon, I think you'd be able to find this for around 5,000 rupees for 2 kgs. So that works out to a whopping 2,500 rupees per kg. And the growth is 8,300 rupees for 2 kgs retail price. Amazon, I think you'd be able to find it for 4,500, 4,000 rupees. That again works out to 2,000 rupees a kg, which is a lot. It's a lot of money for people. So unless you have Nishiki koi, unless you have certified koi, unless you have the best koi around, you don't want to be feeding. You wouldn't want to be feeding this. Now, I'm gonna rip off the price tag here so that I can tell you what the protein content is. Yeah. So the protein content on this food right here is 40%. Okay. The protein content in a food, or koi food, is subjective. You could find very cheap food with 40% protein content, but what's really important is what that content is made from. So when you look at the ingredients, this kind of applies for your own food as well, your packaged food. When you look at the ingredients, most people don't know that the first ingredient that you're looking at is actually the ingredient that is present in the highest quantity or the highest percentage of quantity. So in Saki Hikari, the highest percentage of ingredients in the food is actually fish meal. So fish meal is something it's basically just ground up fish, and what that does is you know for a fact that protein is digestible. Whether a koi can, there's no point giving a koi proteins that it can't digest. If it comes from a source that's not natural to it, it won't be able to digest it, and you'd in turn just soil your water and put extra pressure on your filters. Yeah. So knowing your ingredients is important. Checking the protein content is important. Another thing you need to keep in mind is that if in India, for the most part, we have warm weather for koi. Even our winters are pretty much seem like summers to them. Like this bag over here suggests that you should only be feeding this food if your water temperature is above 18-20 degrees Celsius, which is very much the case in India. For the most part, my water is always at 20, 22, 18, 20, in that range. And unless you're up north in the Himalayas where your pond's freezing over, you don't really need to worry about that. You can feed packaged food to your koi all year round. Next up, we're going to talk about Hikari economy, which is the budget food from Hikari. Now, this is something we feed a lot of in-between quality koi, like how do I say, so hobby grade koi, this is what we feed them. This works out to about, retail price is to 5,210 rupees for 4 kgs. So that works out to about 1,200 rupees a kg, but you get it on Amazon for 2,500 rupees for 4 kgs. So that in turn makes it about, what does that make it? 600 rupees a kg, 650 rupees a kg, which is quite a decent price, you know, as your regular food. It's definitely way more affordable than the 1,200 and 2,000 rupees a kg for Saki Hikari, you know. So so this right here is the medium pellets. You could expect maybe a 5 or 6 inch koi to be able to eat this, no problem. So if you've got a pond with mixed sizes of fish or various different sizes, then you should go for something like this. Now this is only 28% protein, and the main ingredients are wheat flour and soybean oil, but that's all right. That just means that fine, your koi not, it's not exactly mutton, you know, it's more like soybean. So it's a little bit more budget, but it's definitely healthy for them. This is still really good. I feed this on the regular, and for the most part the fish do manage to consume most of the protein. I don't have a lot of ammonia buildup when I am feeding this. So that's for Hikari economy. There's also this green bag is basically the bigger pellets. This is what you want to have around if you have bigger koi, if you're trying to regulate which size of fish in your pond eat. This is kind of what you want to go for. This is also, it's basically the same thing. It's a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit cheaper than the other one, but yeah, it works out to roughly around 600 rupees a kg. Yeah, and then we've got what everybody in the industry right now in India is feeding it, their koi, which is Optimum's Nishikigoi. Now, I'm not saying, now Optimum Nishikigoi is definitely a good food. It's definitely one of the good food. It says here that the protein content is 38%, and that the primary ingredient is actually premium fish meal. So I don't understand what the difference between fish meal and premium fish meal is. I'm assuming that, I don't know, they're feeding koi. I don't really understand how that works, but so this is also a really good food if you're just going for your everyday type of koi. You're not too worried about bringing up some champions and having the best growth around. This will definitely do the job for you as well. There are loads of other brands in the market that I advise you to stay away from. Most of them, they're basically cheap products. There's not much going into it, and at the end of the day, these fish are your pets. Yeah, you want to make sure that they're getting the best possible food that they can get, because that's definitely, you wouldn't want your dog to be eating just some boiled rice every day, right? So definitely try and then you can also try and mix it up. So I kind of feed my koi mealworms. I managed to get some dried mealworms, and then also I feed them freeze-dried, not dried, sorry, just frozen bloodworms. I get them from, in Pune we get a brand, in India we get them from Bubbles and Troubles right now. I mean, that's where I get my gel frozen bloodworms from. The koi really love that, but I kind of keep that to a limited, because there's a lot of dissolving of things in the water, which I'm not a fan of, you know. So that's basically for koi foods. I'm gonna take you, let's give these boys a couple of handfuls of food and see which one they prefer. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you feed your koi right now. I'd like to know. So as you can see, these boys are ready for their tasting. Let's see which one they prefer. First up, we're going to be giving them Hikari Economy, the green bag, which is the big pellets. These are for the big boys, the Shisui, the Beni, the Jaku. Let's see how they like it. So as you can see, they definitely devoured that. The little guys have no chance. They had no chance of getting a bite of that, but yeah, it is what it is. They love it. They're perfectly fine with it. They've gobbled it up. Nothing's lying around. Let's go to the smaller bag of Hikari now. So the next round of food is this smaller Hikari Economy pellets. Let's see how they like this. Everybody can get a bite of this, yeah. So it took them a couple of seconds. As you can see, there's now the smaller guys have had the chance to have some bites. All the little certified guys, all the little toe size are getting a whole bunch of bites in. Next up, let's bring out that Saki Hikari, boys. Here you go, Saki Hikari for you. So as you can see, these pellets are a lot darker. They actually even do smell much nicer, I'd say. Let's see how these boys like it. I think they'd finish that real quick. Let's give them another handful. So that was Saki Hikari growth. Let's give them a little bit of color. There you go, color. So I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, but the color has slightly like a green hue to it, kind of like a really dark chagoi. But I think that's from spirulina. Let's kind of see how they like this. So I noticed that since they've already had a little bit, everybody's had a little bit to eat, they're a little bit slow to eat now, but that's not because the quality of the food isn't up there. That's just because everybody's had a bite at this point. Last up, we're going to give them some Optimum. So Optimum has something cool going for it, which is the shape of its pellets. Even though these are slightly bigger pellets, they're kind of shaped in such a way that a smaller koi would be able to get a bite of that. So that's that. As you can see, the Optimum's taking a little longer to get eaten. Um, that's possibly because they've already had a few handfuls. But yeah. Oh, look at my beautiful Shisui. I love him. Absolutely gorgeous.